Hello. Hello, everyone. Hi, it's Michelle Howe coming to Empath Evolution today with a little message for my followers. If you don't know about Empath Evolution, well, the mission is to bring the awareness, the insight, the wisdom to live your best life. And in order to do that, we have to look at how we feel, because feeling is the number one thing. I see somebody is liking, someone is here. I hope many of you get to listen to this as you go forward. I try to come on once a week and share something with you that's helpful and important. I know we're all navigating our path, navigating the work, the family, right? The responsibilities, the environment that we're in. That's all on the outside, but what else are we navigating? How we're feeling physically, mentally, emotionally. Our health is our wealth. And I was with a client recently and we were outlining all the things that were getting in the way, that were creating more chaos in her life. And she didn't seem to think health was that relevant, but the reason her and I were talking was because her mental and emotional health was struggling, right? So all this time is being focused on the professional side and on her career and on the business and all the things that are going on family-wise. But in the meantime, she's neglected her mental health, her emotional health, her physical health, because everything else is more important. And it is a female thing to do, and I would dare say even some men totally ignore the physical body or emotions, right? Until, one day you just lose it. You start losing it more, and then you start losing it more. What does that mean? You lose feeling like you're in control. Your emotions take over. You've had enough of it. But you keep doing the same thing, hoping for a different result every day, when what you really need is an intervention. An intervention as far as, hello, stop what you're doing. Stop what you're doing. The topic today is surrender. What are we surrendering? What do we need to surrender? What do you need to surrender? Now, surrender comes with a few different in a spiritual sense, we're surrendering certain things as we walk down our spiritual path, right? And that helps us. When you surrender things, it helps you, it frees you up. The opposite of surrender is to hold on really tight, right? Hold on really tight to all these different things that are happening, right? Today, I want to look at surrender more from what are we ready to let go of? To surrender. What are we ready to let go of? What do we really need to let go of? What do you need to let go of? Mind you, the things out there are not letting go of you. You're letting go of them. The things out there cannot hurt you. It's what you bring in from out there that can hurt you. It's what you're doing, okay? So I wrote a few notes this morning. I'm like, okay, this is what we're going with. Surrender. The number one thing that a lot of us need to surrender is too much. Too much. What do we do too much of? What do we see too much of? What do we hear too much of? What do we plan, talk about too much? So it's the too much that really, I think, gets in a lot of ways with our society, especially if you're in the United States. We have a tendency to accumulate and talk and do and earn and work, and the whole flavor of life, it's like it's never enough. We're always getting to more. I don't know that any of us do this on purpose. I think it's a little cultural. And then there's the I want. So I'm going to do more and more because I want more and more. And this is one of the biggest problems with our society, with us being happy, is when we want more and more and more, we're always going to be dissatisfied because more and more and more is not really the answer to anything. More is just more. More of a headache, more of a house to clean, more clothes to, to organize and sort through, more bills to pay. More is not really where we want to be. We want to be balanced, is like a cliche little word, but we want to be quality focused. The quality of my day, the quality of the time that I spend working, the quality of the time that I spend maybe exercising, maybe sleeping, the quality of my sleep, the quality of our time together with a partner or a friend or family matters more than the amount of time. I want more and more and more. Well, you're losing track of the quality of it. So I wrote down too much. What do we do too much of? On a mental level is huge because most of our society likes to be in their head. We all use our head to create better systems, better projects, better endeavors, better vacations, right? We're constantly thinking. Some of these thoughts are positive, helpful. Some of them are not, right? Certainly we need to get rid of the ones that are not positive or helpful. But the issue is overthinking. Too much overthinking. Why do we overthink? Why do we, so the overthinking is I'm concerned, I'm worried, I'm afraid. So I'm overthinking. And then this happened and then that happened. Like the drama. It's the storyline is going so fast and the thoughts are just one after another. Stop. We have to shut down the computer, which is your brain, because the computer burns out. It's too much to have it constantly rattling and chatting and rattling and chatting. We need to get to a place where we're not our thoughts, and we know we're not our thoughts. So our thoughts are not running the show. They're not driving us crazy. We don't have a headache because we're constantly thinking and that's too much use of one part of our senses. Our mind is like a computer. Certainly you can take in information, can process that information, right? But it can also get stuck in ruts. And it can, the same thing over and over and over can come into our head. That's not helpful. It's important to know you're not your thoughts. You are the person experiencing those thoughts. So it separates you a little bit from your mind and that identification, because sometimes our mind gets stuck in a negative rut. Why me? Oh, I'm this. Oh, I'm that. And then this happened. And then that. We just have an oversaturation of thoughts that may not be productive, that are actually self-deprecating, negative, concerning, and we try to shut it down. We may be successful, we may not be. So it is a process of, yes, gaining tools. What tools shut your brain down? What can you do? You can definitely redirect yourself. How? Well, go for a walk. That might work. You have to find something that actually is so distracting that your mind cannot think a thought. So one of the things I came up with recently, which I thought was great, and it's worked for many, is when you're speaking, you're not necessarily thinking. I would hope. No. The thinking happens when I'm quiet. The remunerating happens when I'm quiet. I'm worried when I'm quiet. And I can certainly, when I speak things out, those things could be certainly negative, and I'm worried about this and I'm worried about that. But it calms you down a little to talk. That's why when we are overwhelmed or whatnot, we can talk to a friend, call a friend, and we feel better because we're getting those thoughts out of our head and into words. Okay? So I've never really heard anyone say they over talk, but I've heard overthink. So overthinking burns the brain down, right? It's not a good thing. Too much drama, being involved in drama day in, day out, day in, day out. Now what's the flavor of the drama today? And overdoing it with that drama. So it's important to step back from too much drama, too much overthinking, too much negativity. When you recognize the negativity, whether it's yours or somebody else's, you step back and away from negativity. You don't go into it more. You have to recognize what is negative for you. Too much. Simple. Too many emails. Too much clutter in your house. Too much dirt, dust, chaos. I can't find anything in this house, right? Your house is a reflection of you and where you're at mentally, emotionally. So you want to have your surroundings not too much. You want to simplify as much as possible. You want to bring everything down to the bare bones of what is most important to make you feel good on a weekly basis. It's not an intellectual process. We can't do everything. One of the things that came to me this week with one of my clients, ambitious, beautiful, driven, mother, grandmother, entrepreneur, the pain body as an emotion. She's in her 40s. She's got things she stuffed away. Guess what? They're coming to the surface. She's seeing things in her life she wished were different. That's coming to the surface. She's not feeling at her best. Guess what? That's coming to the surface. So we're working together. And I'm like, you're on the brink of a mental breakdown, an emotional breakdown. What are the most important things that you need to do in any given week to feel good about yourself? To feel like you're making positive strides forward, to feel like you're productive, to feel like you are happy. These are the things that make you happy. And a long laundry list of things that she thought were important to her. And it was really eye-opening for me because I think I've done some very similar things at times. But wanting to do dissatisfied, wanting to do everything and not being able to, and when you get to it, not to the satisfaction level of what you want. Like, it is like a lose-lose situation. It's a total setup, and it's an inner fight here with her. So I explained it in several ways, and then, we went about our business, and the more I saw of how her mind was running the show, and how it was a setup for failure. We went back and forth, back and forth. It said it's not an intellectual thing. What makes you happy is what touches your heart. Those are the important things. And it's not like you can do everything all week. I want all these things. So the example I gave her was, you go into a restaurant, it's a buffet. You like all this food. All this food is good, right? All the food is good. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take all of this food and put it on my plate. Even if it's just a little bit of it, I'm going to put it all on my plate because I like all of it. I have to have all of it. I should do all of it. I need to have all of it, because otherwise, if I don't sample some of this food, someone's going to be offended, or I did something wrong, or I'm not going to get the best life because I'm not the best of this situation. I'm not having the best experience because I'm missing out on some sort of food that's here. By the end of the time that you've sampled all this food, you're going to be disgusted tired, cranky, and not have enjoyed any of the food. So the quality of your experience down the tubes, right? So you go into the restaurant, you see the buffet, you pick the top 5, 6 things, maybe 8 things, proportionate based on what you want, what you like most, and then you have your nice meal, and then you leave. You're not thinking about what you didn't do, what didn't taste right to you, what needs to be better next time, how you wasted that food and you should have gotten some other food. No, you know what you like. Go with the stuff you know supports you on a weekly basis. Put it in there. That's your foundational stuff. You don't say how much or how little of each one, because in any given week, you have to be flexible. We have to be flexible. Things are going to jump in that might need attention that you didn't foresee. So when you have a little bit of a plan and you've got the things that you know fundamentally are your values and make you happy at the heart level, that's what you go on. Not what you should do, what you must do, what you're expected to do, what you need to do. Some of these things we need to do include what? We need to take a shower every day. We need to somewhat clean up the house every day. We need to pay the bills, not every day, every month, right? There are some things we need to do. But when we are allowing for this time that we have, quality time, we're not packing in too much of so many different things that life doesn't feel good anymore. We feel like we failed at this and we failed at that, and that was also another waste. So then what happens is your mind starts noticing all the things that went bad, that went wrong, because you feel tired from doing too many things. From doing too many things you have to do instead of what really feeds you. So that's just a little bit of advice about that. It's not as intellectual as some of us might want it to be, because what happens is our mind is quantifying. Are we being productive? We're rating ourselves. We're looking at it. We're seeing whether we're happy with how we're doing. No. It's not. Happy comes from having a nice defined attitude and approach that has some flexibility, some independence, and includes exactly what makes you happy. It doesn't need to be logical. It doesn't need to be what anybody else understands or approves of. It needs to be what makes you happy. What's not going to make you happy is focusing on all the things that other people think you should do or society directs you to do, and then feeling resentful about it and feeling like you're just burned out. Period. End of story. So we try, or at least we aim for, work that uplifts us, relationships that uplift us, people in our lives that uplift us, or at least are not downers, right? At least be like a neutral source for me or for you. In doing that, you have a better stance, more stability. And the more you put in there that nourishes your heart, the better you will feel. It may not support your pocketbook, but it will support your heart, which matters more, all right? Finances we can work with. Finances in and out. You have to see there's a certain amount you have to provide for. So, it kind of narrows down your choices. And then if you want something a little different, you kind of plan that detour, that event out to make that happen, but always with the awareness that things take time. We want it yesterday. We want it right now. I'm totally impatient. I get it. I have been that way. I still can be that way. that has been a conscious thing that I have worked on, because life doesn't come according to my timeline. Things don't come together according to my timeline always. Certain things certainly can, but it's not always the case. So when you bring your expectations to more of a reality with more of a free flow and more of a, yeah, it's okay kind of attitude, then you're ready to go. You're okay. What I see a lot of people getting stuck on is we're so set in what's in our head. Our head gets stuck in certain ways, certain people, certain situations, and we don't know how to let it go. And it comes to a point where it becomes so painful to operate in that way. Whether it's too much thinking or too much worrying or too much drama, we have to pull back the reins and let some of this stuff go for quality, thinking in terms of quality, the quality of our life. So maybe the quality of your life has you going 20 miles an hour instead of 50 miles an hour. That's okay. As long, it's the journey, right? It's the journey. It's not the destination. It's the journey. Sure, you have goals, you have hopes, you have deadlines, you have goals. You want to get this stuff done, right? Well, think broader. Think quality. The quality of next year. The quality of your November. The quality of your December. How are you going to navigate the holidays in a different fashion that doesn't get you into a meltdown by the middle of December, right? What things do you not need to do? What things do you not need to worry about? What less is more for you? And you have to make the choice, because as long as you are disappointed or you expect something that's not happening, and then you're disappointed again, and you're working so hard, and you're working and working and working. No. Too much work, not good. Too much play. People would argue that's good, too much play. Too much play isn't good either. We do need a balance, because we do need to grow. We need to step forward. We need to learn, we need to create, we need to share, we need to be companions to other people and be friends to other people. All that stuff matters. It matters to us emotionally to have connections. It matters to some of us more than business success, more than money. And when they had that saying with think about when you're on your deathbed, what is it that you wish you would have done more of, right? In that moment, you can see what your priorities really are, because you're not distracted by anything else. What is really important to you? And then you look back on your life and you see, oh my, I kind of lost my way here, kind of lost my way there. And guess what? Yep, all of us lose our way at some point or another, even if people tell us we don't listen, because we don't really see it as real until we see it as real. So I'm just telling you, if the quality of your life feels off, if you feel off, then you need a reassessment of what really makes your heart bright, happy, what makes you get up in the morning and really say, yep, this is my life. And no, life is not perfect. It's going to come with a certain amount of drama. It's going to come with a certain amount of negativity. Some of it maybe you'll generate. Some of it others will generate near you. So it's about navigating that so it doesn't end up so toxic and heavy to you that all of a sudden you can't do this anymore. So, and life doesn't feel like it really has that much to offer. It's not very good. It doesn't feel good. I don't feel good. I can't get up. Now I can't create. Now all of a sudden, emotionally I feel down. Physically, the physical body will take a hit as well. And you're now in a dark cycle or heavier cycle. You've got to move yourself out of that. It happens to all of us. It's like we forget, we get distracted, we get like hyper focused, and that's where we are. And only that. Until we realize, oh, I forgot some things. I left some things behind that are important to me. Let me go back and get those again. Let's do this again. Let's try it again. So I hope this message resonated with you in some way. From my heart to yours. Life is full of adventures. So, take the good, you take the bad, because the bad will eventually move into something good. It's a lesson. They're all lessons, and they're all really life. Life can be really challenging. There are cycles and there are periods of our life that are hard. So, hi Adam. Nice to see you, honey. And you go forward. And the more you plan, the more you understand where you are as a human, your evolutionary process, your heart, your priority, what gets you moving forward, and the less you buy into all the things you quote unquote should do and need to do and must do, the less you get entangled with all of that other garbage out there, and you just focus yourself on what makes you happy inside. Then you become a gift to yourself and to everybody around you. If you'd like some help on this journey, look up Empath Evolution. Look up Empath Evolution's community as a private group on Facebook. Look me up on YouTube. Become a subscriber. I'm around, and I hope this was helpful to you. All right. Have a great day.